Okay, so let's go back to where it all started, how I joined.
Yeah.
And some people might not know this, but me and Zane used to dislike each other, like way before NACT started. And at
Oh.
first, when I joined, it was like a little weird because we didn't like each other, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think I'd say I'm like a private person, and I didn't really open up to anyone on the team except Cole World. And apparently, from what I heard recently, like I didn't find out before, but recently, from what I heard, he was talking to me to try to keep me on the team, or so I wouldn't leave the team. Again, these are all rumors that everyone's been telling me, but I actually don't know if it's true. But I found this out
Mm-hmm.
after like after we won against A77, like the week prior to the
Oh.
finals. Okay, so
Okay,
fast
okay, wait,
forward.
let's first take it back. So you are obviously a pro player in the NAC and you've been joining several NACTs before this in other teams as well. So the original reason why they wanted to, like why Colwell wanted to keep you on the team is also because you're a really good player. And then they wanted you to be in that mid lane so they can proceed in this season, right?
Personally, I don't think that's the case. I think they wanted to keep me because okay, the roster was me, Zane, Whole World, Milo, and Basic, right? And then we had subs of Arvel and Cardi. So,
Mm.
and the problem was that I was a very private person, so they wanted me to open up to someone, and that person would be Cold World. So they
Mm.
wanted me to, from what I heard, they wanted me to open up to Cold World, so like I wouldn't be like this outcast or whatever, not talking to anyone. But but don't get me wrong, I still I talk to them ML wise, just not as like a friend. I'd
Mm.
say I only did that to Cold World, I guess, like as a friend. And I think they wanted to keep me in the team because they were scared of me leaving like mid-season. Like if if he stopped talking to me, then I wouldn't have anyone, and they assumed that because he would stop talking to me, I would just leave like that. So that's why he was allegedly talking to me, from what I heard,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I think. So
So
I
he
don't,
was leading you on, as in like talking maybe
yes,
a little
like
bit romantically.
I I guess you'd say like messing around. I mean, I'm not proud to say that, but yeah, messing around
Hmm.
to like keep me on team. But I don't think, yeah, but I strongly do believe that they kept me on the team because first of all, it would be kind of messed up if I just leave mid-season and they don't have a mid laner, and I guess they
Hmm.
knew that too.
Well, they asked you to join BTK in the very beginning because you're the best mid laner that they could find, right?
Yeah, at the time because they had Demon at first,
Hmm.
and a few weeks before NACT registration, Basic hits me up and says like, "Hey, we're not really working out with our mage demon. Can you come join us?"
I heard that from I think a clip of Basic stream or Zane stream that they also mentioned how they originally had Demon when Basic asked Zane to join the team or to form a team together. They had Demon, but then they didn't think Demon was good, so then they replaced Demon with Apple.
That is true. That they had Demon at first, and then a couple of the members of the team were not comfortable with it.
Mm.
And and at first when he asked me, I was like, "Can you give Demon one more week?" Because I actually felt really bad about replacing him. And then a couple days later, the team was still the team as in like everyone else but Zane. They wanted to try me out, so we did 2-2 scrims where I played two
Hmm.
games of scrims, and Demon would play two games of scrims as well. But I don't. That didn't work out obviously since I got into BTK, and I think he quit because
Mm.
he didn't feel comfortable with the members of the team that didn't want to play with him, and he
Mm.
eventually ended up quitting. And yeah, that's how I joined.
So they kind of pushed out Demon and then replaced him with you because you're. Well, Basics here says he's a captain of BTK apparently.
At the time, I guess Zane still wanted to give him a shot, which is why there was the 2-2 scrims, but I don't think Demon felt comfortable with, because there were people on the team who didn't want him playing. Like, I understand that
Yeah.
feeling now as well, because I experienced it too. Like, if there's people who don't want you playing, that feeling's not
Yeah.
good. So I do understand why he quit.
That's not good for team synergy.
Yeah,
And
like
yeah.
you can't communicate well when there's internal problems.
And that moving ahead, you already in BTK. How have your experiences been? Walk me through your experience in BTK.
Okay, so fast forward to top 8, NACT teams were announced right before the start of the regular season. This was when like all the pictures of us were being released, and then I find out that Basic actually asked Marcuti to join BTK next roster change, and the regular season hasn't even started. And I'm not gonna lie, at that moment, I felt like quitting. Like, the regular season hasn't even started, and you're already thinking about replacing me. And I was thinking, like, why am I here if somebody isn't comfortable with me on the team? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know how it feels, but that feeling isn't good when somebody wants to replace you. And I guess I didn't have a chance to prove myself yet. And because this was before regular season, like, we didn't really play. And this was also done behind my back. So to this day, he doesn't even know that I know he tried to replace me. But I guess now he knows since I'm talking about it now. But I'm gonna be completely transparent about it. Like, when I heard that, I thought about quitting, and I went to talk to my friend on the team, Cole World, and our coach, Midnight, and they talked me out of quitting. And I also thought about how selfish it was to just quit the team, since the rest of the team, Milo, Zane, and Cole World, they didn't do anything to me. It was just Basic who was thinking about replacing. And I also knew how much Zane wanted to win the tourney. So if I left, they would just be stuck with Arvel or Cardi for Mage, and they both don't play it. So they would be like -1 for an important role that nobody plays on that roster. So I thought like it would be kind of messed up. But I also had the goal of winning, and I thought it would be pretty weak if I let like him just talking like that bring me down. So in the end, I decided to not quit and just to prove him wrong with my NACT performance. But I never brought this up. And then, like, first match of regular season, we lose to Area 77. And Basic again goes around blaming me for the loss, saying, like, I got nervous or something. And then, this is all behind our backs, of course. This was also, like, a week gap from the last time he wanted to replace me, so, like, a consecutive week. So, like, 1 week before, he's thinking about replacing me. And then right when the regular season starts, he's replacing me as well. But after the loss, the team morale was pretty shit, and we were like drifting away from each other because obviously we don't like losing, and we didn't feel like a team. And we figured out we figured out that we had to do something if we wanted to win. Like we can't keep this shit morale up if especially since we had a GG game coming up the next weekend, which was the most important one. And I would like to say that the talk did something. The team morale like boosted, like it got better after we talked. And then from then on, I would like to say that there were no problems until a week or two later about the whole GG and BTK drama, where Shark wanted
Mm.
to replace one of the members or something. I don't really know, but and
Yeah,
then
that's a
Basic,
different drama
yeah,
that we don't
that's
need
a
to go
different drama.
into.
And then this is when Basic tells everyone that I'm sure Hoon mentioned it somewhere, like the DMs got leaked, and then he tells everyone that it was to ruin Gigi's mental or something. And then we skip a few weeks where we just lose to Gigi in the playoffs, right? And then this was when I find out that Cole World was like messing around or like toying with me, right? And then he allegedly had a girlfriend while messing with my emotions. Obviously, I don't know if it's true because I'm also hearing multiple things, but that's what everyone was talking about at the time. And so that like shut down my mental a bit because at that point I was like a little bit emotionally attached to him, and finding that news messed me up a bit. Not a bit, that shit messed me up a lot. And I decided
Of course.
I was debating whether I was mentally well enough to play for the match tomorrow, which was the Area 77 playoff match. But I decided that I'm better than that again. Like, I wanted to push everything aside and just focus on winning because we're like 2 to 3 months into the season, and then I just quit like that randomly. That would be like a waste. Like, I wasted 2 to 3 months scrimming for no reason just for some stupid shit to mess it up or something. And then we ended up winning, and I tried my best. And then this is where shit gets shady. Like, I would I would like to say like not even 5 to 10 minutes after we won the Area 77 match, Basic is already deeming Marcuti to join us behind my back. And I find out from other people and not from him directly. And when I heard about that, I immediately went to talk to Midnight and asked if he was gonna let it happen, like roster swap last minute change. And Midnight, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. But then the team finds out about the whole world drama shortly after we won. Like, cause they sensed that I was acting weird. Like before A77 match, I was acting like a bit weird, but nobody knew what was happening. But they find out after we win, and they're like, "Nope, we're not gonna deal with that unless you guys fix your problems." So, from what I heard at first, Milo and Zane were like, "What the fuck? That's fucked up. What you're doing to her." And I'm not gonna lie about it, even though like what he did to me emotionally, this is what happened, even though like their perspectives changes afterward. Because after like a couple hours later, they eventually agreed to getting Marcuti. And I wanted to fight for my spot. Like in my mind, I'm like, there's no way I scrimmed, ranked, and reviewed games every day for 4 to 5 hours just so I can have my spot like given up like that. And yeah, they wanted me and Cole World to fix our problems, and that's what we did. Like, despite all the drama bullshit, like we agreed to like just move past it, and we were gonna be adults and focus on the bigger thing, which was winning. Like, we have the same goal, and sometimes in life, you just need to work with people you don't always like. And then we go up to the team and tell them that we fixed our problems. And at this point, this is a few days later, and I'm still trying to fight for my spot. And then when they heard that we fixed our problems, they still wanted to do the 2-2 scrims, like 2 games with me and 2 games with Mar.
Marcuti. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm like, we did what you wanted. We fixed our problems. And I was complaining to Midnight, like, why do I still have to do the 2-2 scrims after we fixed our problems? Isn't that the main issue? The connection or whatever between me and Chris, like, whole world, sorry. Like, there would be problems between us, is what they were worried about, and we fixed it. And then this was when I started to realize it was just an excuse they were using to try to replace me. Like, I just feel like they just really didn't want me. And that's how
Well, I
it
guess
really
it started with Basic, right? In the very beginning of the season, when he kind of went behind the team's back to talk to Marcuti and do that, which is crazy to me because you guys won against Area 77, and then you guys won against GG in the second week of the tournament. So you guys were doing extremely well with you on the team.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't good enough because I feel like even though we did those 2-2 scrims, no matter how well I did, nothing is gonna change what they think because like when you have this mindset in your mind and like you're like tunnel visioning towards it, nothing will change it. Like if you want to go somewhere, like if you have a plan to go somewhere during the day, you're gonna do that. You're not gonna do something else. Okay, that's a bad analogy.
He came in
you know
with
what I mean.
he came in wanting to replace you with Marcuti, then using the 2-2 scrims as just an excuse to kind of justify in his way or another, because it's not going to be evaluated on an equal level. It's just getting what he wants for Basic.